The Frederick County Adult Detention Center has served the Frederick community since 1775. While many changes have occurred since then, the jail could still benefit from more changes. This video will outline some facts about the jail and surrounding population, will discuss several barriers to the inmate community, and explain potential solutions to these barriers, all in an effort to improve library services to the inmates housed at the Frederick County Adult Detention Center. The detention center houses anywhere from 350 to 500 inmates at any given time. Currently, that number is closer to 500, with the addition of juvenile inmates and immigration detainees. The population is largely male, with only 25 to 50 female inmates typically present. One librarian is tasked with providing service to this entire population. This includes providing materials for educational and recreational use, as well as law library time for inmates wishing to research their cases. While there are many barriers to this community, the ones discussed today will be the lack of internet access, the small staff, and the lack of materials for inmates with disabilities. The lack of internet access for inmates is understandable. However, this greatly limits the access to legal research materials. Inmates are required to share the few books in the collection or ask for additional help from the librarian, who is able to print resources from online databases such as Westlaw and Lexis. This, however, limits the inmates to the abilities of the librarian. There are also no resources present for inmates with disabilities. While there is not often a large disabled population housed at the jail, there should be some type of system for gaining access to materials when there is a patron with a disability, as there is currently. There are no screen readers, magnifiers, or audio materials for the vision or hearing impaired. Finally, the small staff also creates a barrier to this community. While the current librarian is amazing at what he does, he cannot be present at all times. The library is open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday. If he is ill or on vacation, the library is not available. The inmates also do not have free access to the library. The librarian has to schedule time for each housing block and also for law library. If there were more staff members available, more library services could be given. There are several proposed solutions for these barriers. A great way to benefit the limited number of inmates with disabilities would be to partner with the Maryland State Library for the Blind and Physically Handicapped, located in Baltimore. The library has a program where certain materials are mailed to patrons who are unable to visit the library physically. These same resources could also be of use in a prison library setting. Resources could be mailed to the jail as needed for use in the prison library. When the inmate is released or rehoused, the materials would then be sent back to the state library. By partnering with the existing state interlibrary loan system, these resources could be transported at a lower cost. Creating a volunteer program would be a great low-cost way to give the current librarian additional help in the library, while also helping to reduce stigma in the surrounding community. The prison library could partner with the Frederick County Division of Youth Services to partner at-risk youth with inmates. They could help teach inmates basic computer skills and help develop language skills. Some could also potentially act as interpreters between the immigration detainees and the librarian, helping to improve service to this community. The inmates could in turn help steer the at-risk youths to a better life path. The current librarian at the Frederick County Adult Detention Center is doing an amazing job with the resources he has been given. He tries to help each and every inmate and tries to ensure that each inmate receives at least 1 hour per week in the library. While great steps are being taken to serve the inmates of Frederick County, small changes could definitely help further the library's services to this underserved population.